What if you're already dead? Pause. Not physically, of course, but in a way that is perhaps even more profound. A state of unawareness, a slumber where you're disconnected from the source of your true power. You're being called to return, not to a place, but to an understanding of your inherent divinity. This isn't a religious decree or some abstract spiritual concept. It's an inner knowing, a call from the depths of your being, urging you to awaken from the simulated existence you've been led to believe is real. The accepted rules of reality, the societal norms we blindly follow, function as a kind of programming. These limit our experiences, keeping us tethered to a narrow spectrum of possibilities. Think of it like a video game. Your choices are like code that determines your path, but what if you've been playing with someone else's code all along? The stakes here are not merely conceptual, this is about the potential of your experience. By remaining in this state of death, you're not just missing out, you're losing the most profound aspect of yourself, the very essence of your power to create. You're living a life dictated by programmed responses, experiencing a world that feels outside of your control when the power to rewrite that experience is already within. The call to return is not just some spiritual ideal, it's a fundamental necessity for reclaiming your true nature. It's about breaking free from the external systems that seek to control you and taking back your sovereignty. Not simply escaping a simulation, but writing the very rules of it. You are not a victim, you're a powerful being who has forgotten who you truly are. You are now being invited to awaken and take back control of your own simulation. Consider for a moment the characters in the Matrix unaware of the simulation they inhabit. This is the exact dynamic we live within in the real world, accepting a manufactured reality without questioning it. Now, let's examine the very nature of the force calling you to return. The God, you might imagine, is not some external entity in the sky, but rather is the very source of your consciousness, the wellspring of your own creative power, the infinite potential that resides within you. The God telling you to return is you. This isn't about worshipping something outside of yourself, but about recognizing the divine power that is already an integral part of your being. The rules of our world, this consensus reality, function as an artificial constraint societal conditioning that reinforces a limited experience, causing you to blindly accept external realities that serve to keep you in a low state of awareness. For example, we accept, as if by default, that we need to go to work every day, we need to buy things to be happy, or that there is a single prescribed method for life that everyone must follow. But who actually decided these things were true? We've been programmed to accept a limited reality, and the invitation is to rewrite the code. Most people go through their entire lives oblivious to this illusion of separation from their power. This makes the call to return not just a possibility, but a fundamental necessity for becoming your true self. The question is not if you will return, but rather when. This video is a journey of rediscovery, and you will be an active participant in gaining insight into your true nature and your ability to rewrite the simulation you're experiencing in real time. There's a unique blueprint, a code within you that holds the keys to unlock your inherent power. This video will guide you in deciphering that code. And God, the code itself, is the key to understanding this blueprint. The illusion of death isn't just about the end of a physical life. It's the daily acceptance of a limited identity within this simulation. The moment you define yourself by your job title, your bank account, or even your social media profile, you are effectively dying to the infinite potential that resides within you. You are allowing external constructs to dictate the very essence of who you are. The titles you hold, the possessions you accumulate, these become the bars of your self-made cage, locking you into a predefined role within the simulation. It's a subtle form of self-imposed disempowerment, a reliance on external validation that keeps you trapped in the same loop, chasing fleeting moments of satisfaction that never quite fill the void. This constant pursuit of external validation serves only to reinforce the illusion, keeping you distracted from the inherent power you hold within. Think of a fish who doesn't know they are in water. They exist within it completely, unaware, yet think they need to be somewhere else. This is how most people operate. They spend their lives chasing external goals, never realizing they are already immersed in the source of all things. The tragedy is that most people are completely unaware of this, living in a state of automatic responses, reacting to the program instead of actively choosing their experience. They are like characters in a play, following the script laid out for them, completely oblivious to the fact that they are the actors, the writers, and the directors of their own lives. Can you see the difference between how you operate day to day and how you could operate if you were fully aware of your true nature? The ego, that voice in your head constantly chattering about your shortcomings, your fears, and your desires, is a key component of this simulation, acting as a gatekeeper, preventing you from recognizing your true nature. It perpetuates the illusion of separation, convincing you that you are an individual, isolated entity, disconnected from the infinite source of your being. It thrives on fear, doubt, and the constant need for external validation, effectively keeping you in a state of low awareness, where you cannot access the full spectrum of your power. This relentless inner monologue is not your true voice, but a construct, a program designed to keep you distracted and disempowered. The ego functions like a filter, distorting your perception of reality and preventing you from recognizing the divine potential that resides within. It's the guard at the gates of your personal power, tirelessly convincing you that you are not worthy, not capable, and not enough. Like a self-appointed gatekeeper, it is always telling you who you are, what you are capable of, and what is possible based on its pre-programmed parameters, and all the while keeps you from your true limitless nature. But what if the call to return wasn't about leaving this world, but rather awakening within it? What if the return was actually a reawakening to the power that resides within you? The return isn't about a physical relocation or a religious ritual. It's an internal shift, a process of remembering who you truly are and reclaiming your sovereignty from the simulation. This is where your inner knowing comes in, that quiet voice within your intuition, that compass always guiding you back to source. The whisper of intuition is the language of your soul, the pathway to truth that gets louder the more you listen, but most people ignore it. This process of returning is about consciously choosing to reconnect with this inner guidance, peeling back the layers of conditioning and societal programming that have kept you disconnected from your true potential. It's a journey of self-discovery, where you are guided by your own internal wisdom and intuition, rather than the external voices of a simulated reality. You are not lost. You are simply asleep, and the path back to yourself lies within. Reclaiming your personal power is about releasing the programmed limitations that have been imposed upon you, rewriting the code of your simulation, one belief at a time. Start with the most fundamental of beliefs, the ones that have been ingrained in you since childhood. This involves questioning everything. Your assumptions about reality, your judgments about yourself, and the stories that you tell yourself. This requires a conscious effort to become aware of the external programming that dictates your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. The moment you begin to question your core beliefs and challenge the assumptions that shape your reality is the moment that you begin to rewrite the code. Consider it a kind of debugging process, identifying the faulty code and replacing it with code that serves your highest potential. This is the very essence of what it means to return. You're not going back to a place, you are moving forward into an understanding of your true potential. This return is about accessing the very source of consciousness itself, the creative wellspring from which all things manifest, and there are doorways available to you at any time. When you find yourself in a flow state, completely immersed in what you are doing, you are accessing that source. Those moments of effortless creation where time seems to disappear are like a river flowing back into the ocean. That state of effortless focus is not a coincidence. It's an indicator that you are perfectly aligned with your true self. Or when you connect with your inner child, that sense of playful wonder and boundless curiosity, you're also returning to Source. Even the act of actively creating an experience that you choose, instead of passively reacting to the world, is an act of returning. These moments are not just fleeting experiences, but the signposts that show you the way back. The key is recognizing that you're not simply experiencing these moments, but you are actively engaging with your source, the source of all potential. Just like a river flows back to the ocean, you are being drawn back to the source of your creation. The God that is calling you to return isn't an external entity. It is your own inner source of creativity, intuition, and power, the very essence of what animates your being. This God isn't something you have to strive to become. It's the very fabric of your consciousness, your deepest and most profound potential. This concept is not just a spiritual notion, but the very source code of the simulation. When you consciously connect with your inner God, you begin to understand the underlying principles that govern the simulation you inhabit. This understanding is the key to rewriting your personal experience within this reality and stepping into the role of co-creator in real time. The recognition that the God you seek is within you and not separate from you is the key to unlocking your true potential. It is through this recognition that you can see through the illusion, rewriting the code as you go, and creating a reality that is a perfect expression of your own infinite potential. Societal programming functions as a sophisticated mechanism of control, designed to keep you disconnected from this very source, acting as the operating system of the simulation. It's a carefully crafted system of beliefs, narratives, and conditioning that operates beneath your conscious awareness, dictating your thoughts and actions. The constant pursuit of external validation, the adherence to societal norms that don't serve your growth, and the fear of being different are all programmed narratives designed to keep you in a low state of awareness and separated from your true selves. It's a system designed to perpetuate the illusion of separation and maintain the status quo. These programs are designed to make you believe in limitations, convincing you that your power lies outside of yourself and not within. Can you see the patterns? Are you beginning to see how deeply ingrained these ideas are? Recognizing these programs is the first step towards rewriting them. This requires becoming a mindful observer of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, actively choosing a new approach. Techniques such as journaling can be powerful tools for uncovering the hidden narratives that are running your life, allowing you to see the operating system at work. When you approach your life with mindful awareness and a conscious intention to question reality, you are actively participating in the deprogramming process. The moment you ask, "Why do I believe this?" is the moment you begin to rewrite your code. It's about challenging the status quo and daring to envision a reality where you are not limited by the beliefs and fears that have been programmed into you. Think of it as defragging a computer. You are identifying and clearing out the unnecessary programs that are slowing down your system, so you can run more efficiently. Your choices, even within the parameters of the simulation, are powerful tools for altering your experience. Free will is what allows you to change the course of your path, even when the options seem limited. While the simulation presents specific parameters, you are not a slave to them, and the choices you make about how to respond dictate your path within the experience. Every decision, every thought, every intention is a line of code that shapes your personal simulation. By consciously choosing to break free from the programming and actively participating in the creative process, you are altering the very fabric of the game. It is not a fixed reality, but a dynamic environment, constantly shaped by your choices, your awareness, and the collective consciousness of all players within the simulation. Therefore, your individual awakening impacts the collective experience, highlighting the importance of taking responsibility for your own internal state. It is a game, and you have the power to change the rules. The death you experience is not a finality, but a state of unawareness, a slumber where you're disconnected from the source of your power, and you are being called to return to your true nature. Your understanding of God as an internal source combined with your awareness of the programmed simulation, is the perfect recipe to unlock your inherent power. You are being invited to step into your role as a conscious co-creator of your reality. The call to return is not some distant ideal, but an invitation to take action, to engage with the simulation from a position of power, choosing how you will play the game. Like a dream where you recognize that you're dreaming. The moment you become aware, you can begin to alter the landscape of the dream. This is how we can approach our waking lives. You are the dreamer, and the world around you is a dream, and once you realize that, you hold the keys to change the dream as you see fit. The next section is all about the how. We've explored the why and the what, but now we're diving into practical applications and tools that will help you actively engage in the process of returning, beginning with your willingness to engage with the process itself. There is no right way to return to source. Your experience will be uniquely your own. The key is simply the willingness to embark on the journey. The process of exploration is the return itself. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a powerful being who is choosing an experience, and you have the power to rewrite that experience. The path back to yourself lies in your decision to begin the journey. This call to return is not some mystical concept. It's the ultimate act of self-empowerment, a reclamation of your divine heritage, and that next section will arm you with the tools. The death we've been discussing isn't the cessation of your physical form, but the acceptance of a limited identity within this simulation. It's the moment you believe you are only your body, your mind, your experiences, forgetting the infinite potential that lies within your conscious awareness. The return, therefore, is not a journey to another place, but an inner awakening to this very truth, a remembrance of your infinite source. The call to return isn't a demand from an external entity, but an invitation from your own higher self, the very core of your being yearning for recognition. The recognition of this truth is the start of true personal empowerment. It's the moment you realize that your experience is not being dictated to you, but rather you are creating it from the inside out. This is not just a shift in perspective, but a complete transformation of your inner experience. The invitation is not external, but a calling from the depths of your own soul, reminding you that you are more than just a character in a simulation. You are the creator of that simulation itself. It is your higher self, your inner God, that is extending the invitation, not a force outside of you. The God urging this return is not an external authority figure in the sky, but your own higher consciousness, the very source of your being. This is the same consciousness that has been explored throughout history by many different names, seen as an external force when it was always an internal compass. You are not separate from this source. You are an integral part of it, a unique expression of its infinite potential. It's not about finding God, but remembering that you are God, the author of your personal reality, and that this power resides within you. All along you have been the authority you have been seeking. This understanding is not a theological concept, but a fundamental truth about the nature of your existence. You are the power you have been seeking, and that power is what animates your experience. By recognizing this truth, you begin to understand the depths of your own potential and your ability to consciously create your reality. You are not merely a part of the whole, you are the whole, experiencing itself from a unique perspective. Recognizing the programmed limitations of this simulation, combined with an understanding of your inner power, reveals that you are not bound by its rules, but are capable of rewriting your experience. The moment you become aware of the invisible programs, the unconscious beliefs, and societal conditioning that dictate your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, is the moment you begin to reclaim your freedom. It's like discovering the cheat codes in a video game. Once you know them, you can bend the rules to your advantage. You begin to see the very system at play, the patterns it operates by, and that gives you the ability to change them. This isn't about rebelling against the system, but transcending it through understanding. You are not a prisoner, you are a player who can rewrite the code. Each belief you challenge, Every assumption you question is a line of code being rewritten, paving the way for you to step into your role as the co-creator of your reality. Understanding the simulation allows you to consciously participate in its co-creation. It is not a fixed state, but a dynamic environment that can be altered through conscious awareness. Your choices, your intentions, your thoughts are the code that dictates your experience. It's not about escaping the simulation, but consciously choosing how to play the game. Think of it as a sandbox. You are not trapped by the walls. You are free to build anything you want within it. It's this understanding that shifts you from a passive observer to an active participant. Your awareness is the key that unlocks the door to rewriting your personal simulation. The moment you understand that you're co-creating the simulation, you unlock the ability to change it as you see fit. No longer at the mercy of its rules, you become the author of your experience. Your individual awakening is not just a personal journey, it's an essential contribution to the overall shift in consciousness within this collective simulation. As you step into your power and rewrite your personal code, you influence the entire game. Think of a single drop of water impacting an entire ocean. This is the effect you have. It is not just a personal journey, but an act of collective evolution. Your personal transformation is not just a benefit to you, but an essential element of a much larger shift, creating a ripple effect throughout the entire simulation, which creates a much better playing field for everyone. You are not alone on this journey, and your personal growth has larger implications for the collective and the greater game being played by all. Every choice you make to step into your power shifts the game for everyone else. The patterns of illusion, return, inner source, and simulation all contribute to a complete understanding of empowerment. Recognizing these patterns helps you transcend your limitations and reclaim your personal authority. It's like having a map that reveals the hidden pathways within the simulation, allowing you to navigate with clarity and purpose. This is not just theory, it's a practical guide for operating within this reality, providing the insights you need to rewrite the narrative of your experience. These patterns reveal the mechanics of the simulation, allowing you to understand how it operates, so you can use it to your advantage. These patterns are not just abstract concepts, but the very tools you need to navigate the game, moving past the programming and claiming your inherent power. It's the ultimate guide to personal transformation. The implications are not just philosophical but practical, and by adopting this understanding, you can actively shape your reality by making conscious choices. Your personal awareness is the key to unlocking new possibilities. It's not about blindly accepting what is presented to you, but consciously choosing what you will experience, choosing which path you will take. You're not just a passenger along for the ride, you're the driver of your experience. The moment you begin to see your power and apply it consciously is the moment the game completely changes. The more you connect with your personal power and see the influence you have on your experience, the more you begin to craft your reality in a more conscious and fulfilling way. This is not just theory, but a blueprint for a life lived in alignment with your true potential. Transformation involves recognizing the patterns of limitation, reclaiming your personal power, and using your free will to create new experiences. True change happens the moment you decide that you no longer wish to play by the rules of the simulation, when you understand that the power to change that reality is your own. The moment you consciously choose to step out of the patterns of limitation that have been imposed on you and decide to start creating your own experience, you are actively rewriting your personal simulation from the inside out. You have the power to override the rules of the game. This is not a passive process. It's an active choice to engage with your experience from a place of power. You are the author of your story, and you have the power to write any ending you desire. The return journey involves recognizing the illusion of separation, reconnecting with your inner source, and consciously choosing new paths. The return isn't a destination, but an ongoing practice, where you continue to consciously choose the experience you wish to have. It is a continuous cycle of self-discovery, where you grow in your understanding of the dynamics of the simulation. Each day is a new opportunity to choose and to grow, further solidifying the practice of returning to source. This isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process of aligning with your true nature and a path of empowerment. Your return is a constant cycle of self-discovery, self-improvement, and self-empowerment. The simulation is a dynamic environment that can be altered through your conscious awareness. It's not about escaping the simulation, but consciously choosing how you will play the game. You are not a pawn. You are a conscious player with the power to shape the landscape of the game, to rewrite the rules, and to create any scenario you wish. The moment you begin to see the simulation as a canvas to create a pawn, instead of something you are trapped inside, your experience begins to transform. It's not about being trapped in a cage, but playing a game on your own terms. You are not a passive observer. You are an active creator within the simulation. It is a playground of infinite possibilities, and you have the power to explore them all. The core questions we've explored throughout this journey, such as what is reality, who am I, and what is God, are all answered not by looking outside of yourself, but by connecting with your own inner source. The answers you have been seeking all along are within you, the moment you choose to turn inward and acknowledge your true potential. You are the source of all answers, and it was always within you. This journey has not been about finding those answers. It has been about realizing you are the one that possesses them. You are the author, the actor, and the audience in the play of your own life, and that is the greatest truth of all. Now, with a deeper understanding of your inherent power and the nature of reality, it's time to release the tension and claim your right to create a reality that you choose. You are not limited by your circumstances, and you are not a victim of your reality. You are an active co-creator, empowered to navigate this simulation with grace and confidence, and this journey is about claiming that understanding. This is not the end of the road, but the start of a new beginning, a beginning that is filled with infinite possibilities and infinite potential. This understanding isn't meant to overwhelm you, but to reassure you and empower you to begin a journey into self-discovery, where you are the guide and the destination. Now that you've recognized your inherent power, what reality will you choose to create? What kind of experience will you craft now that you see that you are the author of your own simulation? This is not a rhetorical question. This is an invitation to actively participate in the co-creation of your reality, beginning now. There are other dimensions of consciousness that are accessible to you, other ways to activate your latent powers. You are not limited to just this reality, and there is more to discover and more to explore. This is a practice, and the more you engage with it, the deeper your understanding, and the more empowered you will become. Each moment is a new opportunity to choose, to grow, and to expand your understanding of your personal power, so continue to explore, question, and discover all that is available to you. Keep challenging your beliefs, and keep seeking new levels of understanding. This is an ongoing journey, and your active participation is essential. Your return begins with your choice, the choice to recognize your inherent divinity and the power you possess to create your own experience. You are a powerful being with the ability to rewrite the code of your simulation, to choose joy, to choose abundance, to choose love, and to choose peace. This is not just a possibility. It's your birthright. So step into the game with confidence, with intention, and with the unwavering knowledge that you are the co-creator of your reality, and that you hold the keys to your personal transformation.